info.com.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic.
For construction on I-135 in both directions between 21st and 37th Streets. Expect lane and ramp closures and width restrictions. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey, Wichita traffic.
Weather.
Good morning. Another quiet day across the area. Mostly sunny skies, east winds 5 to 15, and a high of 91, but not much humidity, so the heat index will not be a problem. Mostly clear and upper 60s tonight. A few extra clouds on your Wednesday, a high of 90. Partly cloudy Thursday and 92. Temperatures will begin to really take off Friday into the weekend. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Jordan Walker, hero in St. Louis, villain in Philadelphia. He walked into the city of brotherly love and quite literally snatched Kyle Schwarber's chain. He beat Schwarber in walk-off fashion with 12 homers in the final round. Say what you want. Format this, format that. I don't care what format it is. If we get a conclusion like that, it's worth it. I'm dead.
You love sports. We love sports. This isn't casual. This is commitment.
Sports Radio KFH. Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Jordan Walker, hero in St. Louis, villain in Philadelphia. He walked into the city of brotherly love and quite literally snatched Kyle Schwarber's chain. He beat Schwarber in walk-off fashion with 12 homers in the final round. Say what you want. Format this, format that. I don't care what format it is. If we get a conclusion like that, it's worth it. I'm dead.
Jim Rome.
With the 22nd pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select LeBaron Philon Jr. from the University of Alabama.
The Philadelphia, quick, slap a Philadelphia 70 selector hat on that guy. Damn, Powder, what did you have before you got up there? Do some box breathing technique, slow down, get it right, get some vitamin D, for God's sake. How many times do we have to cover that? Go out and get some sun.
The Philadelphia 70 selectors
Before? Every time our kids come in the room and you're on the screen, I make them cover their eyes. And they're 21 and they're 25 now. Dang ears. I cover my own eyes.
Jim Rome, afternoons at 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH, Wichita's most listened to sports radio. The most listened to sports radio in Wichita is 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Well done. Adding a fake name to the sign-up sheet, it's real original, guys. You know, I'd expect inspired minds such as yours to be a little more mature and, frankly, more creative. I mean, seriously, what kind of a fake name is Cook Poo? Cook Poo!
She's back here, bro.
No!
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Cook Poo. We have a number 2 over here for Cook Poo.
You guys got Wendy saying it now? Come on! Cook Poo is a stupid name. Cook Poo, Cook Poo, Cook Poo.
Here.
Now look sad and say Joe. Joe.
Welcome in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you. Jacob Albrocht, TJ Cleland on a Tuesday following the Home Run Derby. Here we go. 97.5 FM, 1240 AM. You can call us at 869-1240. You can chat and comment on our video streams, all the socials available for you, Facebook, YouTube, X. Thanks for watching us on 12 News Connected. Thanks for listening to us on the Odyssey app. If you are on the Odyssey app, that's easy. You just click the little microphone. You can leave us a voice message. We have Max Power producing. We will take you through the Home Run Derby. We will get you ready for the All-Star game, I suppose. We have more commentary on Wichita hosting the NCAA tournament as Wichita State kind of gave their thoughts on things as well yesterday, and then much more. We get a little more open in these next couple of weeks. We'll start to look ahead at some football storylines. We did that a lot with college football last week, maybe a little bit of that with the NFL this week. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring Key Lime Pie Ale by Tallgrass. Rich, creamy, tart, slightly sweet with a graham cracker finish. Key Lime Pie Ale is the closest you'll come to drinking your dessert. Key Lime Pie Ale, a summertime favorite, now available at WBC. Pizza and beer made here. The Home Run Derby is in the books, a new format, a new network. Felt a little different, I will admit, last night than normal. How are you this morning, TJ?
It was good. I was a fan, I think, of the Derby format. It got a lot of people talking about it for sure. But I think I'm pro per swing because you can't go too far and go back to the old way, because the old way was awesome. The outs format was awesome.
Yeah.
But it also didn't get over until 11:30 p.m.
Right. And then you have the mixture now of the bracket style versus non-bracket style. I was good with it. I thought it was entertaining. We'll need a few more years of the format. The Philadelphia fans certainly made it more entertaining. I think they really, because of the Schwarber/Harper factor, them leaning into it definitely added to the excitement. So, if that wasn't there, I'd be curious to see how much we liked it. I get it. Like, you go to a swings or outs and it potentially takes longer. But I thought the pace of it was fine last night. And I didn't think any of the hitters were taking too many pitches, which I think became the problem there for a little bit. So I was good. I thought it was entertaining. Obviously, the outcome was entertaining because you had Schwarber in there, and it was a 1 home run, essentially walk-off win. That's always going to make it exciting. But the disappointing part, TJ, was Jack Caglione. He teased a little bit when he found his groove. He just found it too late, unfortunately. First time in something like that, that was always a possibility. I think you give him another shot at that first round and he'd have been fine. But, man, he hit some moonshots to get people excited, though.
Yeah, 477 feet, I think. There's a lot of
477 feet my rear. It's 477 feet to the triple deck that stopped it from going further.
There's a lot of talk about that, by the way, especially like in actual games. How are they measuring them? Is it measuring where it lands? Because that's silly. It has, especially in a world now where we have the technology to just put it on the TrackMan and just say, hey, the exit velo is this, the launch angle was this, the math tells you that ball just went 515 feet. Like, that's what it should be. Because it's not a fair argument to see how far it went, because every stadium's going to be different, right? Like a home run in Fenway is going to go significantly less or less far than a home run somewhere else because it's 40 feet in the air in left field. Anyways, that's a soapbox. Lots of jokes coming out last night about Cag's dad. He got prime Greg Maddux to throw to him, which always happens in every derby. There's always somebody's dad who is the butt of some jokes about, like, Dad, you're just spotting corners here. And it's not as big of a deal anymore now that they changed the format. I think whenever it used to be the timed format, then it was like, all right, we got to throw some strikes. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know what I like better, but I mean these poor pitchers. That's his dad. I think there's more value in having your dad do it.
People don't really talk about that enough. Is that people are always like, wow, like the bright lights of the home run derby really got to the hitter. Like, how about to the pitcher? Like, that's equally as important. Like, you got to put that ball in the right spot.
There's some guys out there, running coach pitch little league teams right now that feel that pressure.
I'm telling
drilling
you,
kids.
I used to umpire the 8U baseball, and it's like, all right, little Timmy's got 2 strikes. You have to throw a strike. If it's a ball, he has to swing anyways.
Whatever you do, don't do machine pitch. We did that for a little while. That is a disaster. Could you imagine the home run derby with the machine pitch? Like in Little League, they use like these slingshots, which never work. But, even if it was like an old, the old spinny wheel, whatever those are technically called. What are those called? They have a name. I just can't think of it.
The Hack Attack.
Yeah. Would just throw one of those up there for the home run derby. That wouldn't be as fun, but you could do that. I think the Derby is great. I think the Derby is more exciting than the All-Star game. It's always a question I ponder. Last year's, obviously, we got into that weird swing off thing. I don't know, man. I think it might be. Like, I watched the Derby last night. I can't guarantee you that I will watch the All-Star game tonight.
I'm telling you. So in 2012, when it came to Kansas City, I had the chance. I got to go to the Derby, and then my roommate in college lives in Colorado, and the All-Star game went to Denver a couple of years ago, and he's like, "Should I buy a ticket to the Derby or to the All-Star game?" And I'll tell everybody this forever, is that the All-Star game is just a really cool baseball game. The home run derby is different than literally anything else that you'll ever see in the sport. Like, you have to go. If you're picking between the two, you always pick the Derby.
I think so too. And I think on TV, it's kind of the same thing, right? Like, the All-Star game's fun. I think it's the best of the All-Star games. When I was younger, when you didn't have access. So when I was younger, like, the American League never played the National League. You didn't have interleague. You didn't have access to games every day. Maybe you did for your team in your region. You had them on the radio. So to get to see some of these star players that you would, let's say, read about in the newspaper, or maybe if you were lucky enough to have cable, see on SportsCenter, like, this was kind of the chance. Fox had like one game a week. So for us, we didn't have cable. So you'd catch the Fox game, you'd listen to them on the radio, you'd catch the newspaper, whatever. Like, the All-Star game did present a chance to see a lot of players you never got to see before. We don't live in that era anymore. We can see any player we want anytime we want to now.
It also lost the luster of whenever it used to actually apply to the World Series.
Oh, that was much later than what I'm talking about now, and that was a disaster. I'll never get so mad at them for trying that, because
I think that was awesome.
Oh, no way. No way. That cost the Rangers a World Series one year when they were clearly had the better regular season. It's hard because you've got players and managers deciding things that have nothing to do with the teams in the World Series. Like, it was a good idea because they had the game end in a tie. But just do what they did last year and have a weird swing off. But it doesn't need to. I initially was on board with that. And then the longer it went, I was like, this really is kind of dumb that we're doing it. Why don't we just flip a coin to see who gets home field? All right, we'll come back. We can discuss that a little bit more tomorrow. Cags' appearance and the rest when we return on Sports Daily. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
If you bleed crimson.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story, clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily here. Longhofer Lawn and Tree Care celebrating 60 years in Wichita, providing expert lawn care for healthy lawn, tree, and shrub care and bedweed control since 1966. Longhofer Lawn and Tree Care. We come back in, Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleland here. Home run derby last night. Before we get into Cags' performance, TJ, you liked the World Series, the home field being decided, but the All-Star game?
I think so. I think that it added like a fun.
Until the point they took it away?
I think so. I think that especially I probably would have a differing opinion if it ever screwed my team over, but the Royals in 2015 dominated in the All-Star game, and then they got the home field advantage and then won the World Series.
Yeah, look, that was possible. The problem was what if somebody else screwed it up?
I know. I understand the whole thing, but I think that like it added, and again,
it did.
I don't know. To me, it's like the Super Bowl's played on neutral field. Does it really matter who the home field is? And it does. In Game 7, if it ever gets to that point, it matters. But in the same breath, if you feel like you're
2014, what if they were playing that game in Kansas City, and I don't remember who had the
It
better
wasn't
regular
Kansas City.
season record.
It wasn't
Sorry.
Kansas
Sorry. What if it was the other way around in 2015 and they got to have the later games? Now they won, and both outcomes for the Royals, right? It was flipped. It didn't matter. It actually went the opposite way, to your point.
True.
Again, I don't like, I was fine with the idea. I actually kind of liked it for a while. And then it got to the point where it was like, we probably shouldn't be doing this.
It felt like they took it serious too. Like, it's as serious as you take an all-star game.
I think they still take it serious. They
take it more serious than the other ones.
It's hard to not take it serious.
Yeah.
It's baseball.
I'm just saying, in those years, whenever that was what was going on, there wasn't quite the, hey, I'm going to bring my phone out there and take a selfie with the umpire and stuff like that. Because if that was happening
in the outfield, which I think is the best thing about the All-Star game now, is talking to the players during the broadcast. I also wonder too, like, you got to think about, okay, now home field advantage is on the line. What is the manager going to do to make a pitching decision now?
Yeah, I agree. I think that was the one thing, is that they still did the thing where it's like you're doing one guy per inning, because you're not going to go run a starter out there and say, hey, you're giving us 7 today. If I was the Royals manager and you did that to Michael Wacha, like, the hell he is. He pitches in 3 days. Yeah. So I get it. It's got its downfalls.
I think over time we learned it wasn't necessary. So that does put more, to me, emphasis on the home run derby. I think the home run derby for a lot of people is the premier event. How did you evaluate Netflix? I love Matt Vasgersian. I thought they did fine. I thought of the sporting things they've done, it was one of the better productions that they've had.
Yeah, there was I think the biggest feedback thing that I saw online is that they tried to do too much, where they're taking camera angles at like, we didn't even see the ball flight of the final home run that won the home run derby, like, because they're taking a tight shot of the hitter. And so I get it, and show off your fancy cameras, but in the one sporting event ever where it's important to see where the ball goes, you probably need to focus on that.
There's no better angle at a home run derby than the wide shot that shows the ball sail into wherever it's going to go. Yeah. I will say, like, ESPN, and I'm surprised that I don't remember this announcement that this switched. They had mastered the home run derby as far as a broadcast, and people can say what they want about Chris Berman. I'm going to tell you right now, that event is not what it is without Chris Berman.
I know. It took me about 10 minutes to realize, because I didn't think anything of it, because I was just like, yesterday morning we're talking about the home run derby, and I'm getting stuff ready for the day, and said, all right, this game's going to be on ESPN, and it's like, it's on Netflix? Yeah. Since when? And totally missed that. And then so I'm starting to watch it. I'm like, whatever, Netflix can host. They posted Chiefs games and stuff like that before. Like, it'll be fine. And then, like, 10 minutes into the first hitter or whatever, I sit there and I'm like, son of a gun, Boomer's not going to be here, is he? It's not on ESPN anymore. That sucks.
I don't think he'd been on the broadcast for a while, right? Carl Ravitch has been doing it, and I think maybe Berman had a small part in it.
But I would say, I think they'd always work Berman in there
People can say what they want about Chris Berman. I think Chris Berman is a legend. I think SportsCenter and ESPN do without his show with Tom Jackson is still the best. And was he my favorite, like, SportsCenter anchor? Absolutely not. But he was the face of that network for a lot of people. Yeah. And Dan Patrick follows us, and Dan Patrick does happen to be my favorite. And he had a huge impact there too. This is SportsCenter, all of those things that he did. But Berman's back calls, and Berman's nicknames, and Berman and Tom Jackson for the Sunday Night Highlight show, there was nothing better. And when there wasn't all this other stuff to distract from it, like, it was as appointment television as sports television has ever been. Yeah. So I miss him on the Derby. I love his back call over and over and over. Uh-huh. And, where he hits that to some geographic landmark of insert city here. Like, I'm okay with all of that. Like, I thought that was, like, it was nostalgic and endearing and fun. And I think sometimes we take sports too serious, and I don't need analytics in a home run derby. I just want to watch the ball fly. That's what I want to see.
All right, let me get on a home run derby soapbox if we want to talk about this really quick. I saw a couple people saying this online. It was my thought immediately, and I think it's just my, I don't know, empath brain. It sucks that Philadelphia fans booed everybody except the two guys.
Awesome.
No, like, I think that you can have a good time with that. And again, I say this, I understand like booing Robinson Cano when he came to Kansas City. I'm fine with booing, but you have to have a reason to boo and not just they're not on my team.
They wouldn't have booed if the Phillies weren't still alive. They wouldn't have booed if Schwarber got knocked out. They wouldn't have booed Jordan Walker if Schwarber wasn't there. It was just a tip of the cap to Schwarber. Also, it made it way better when Walker beat him.
I agree. I think I'm fine with it. I think I'm fine with it in the championship, but like in the first, like they are announcing the players' names and they're booing them, and then they take every single player, they're booing them
because they had their two guys in there.
I get it. I understand why they were, but at the end of the
if they would have, maybe they should have started with the two Phillies because if you knew they were through, well, no, you'd still boo them. Yep. Yeah, I mean. Like I don't. It was very Philadelphia. It was very 100%. Fitting.
That's where my brain immediately went. And again,
like you could see it visibly. Like the fans are booing and laughing, and the players are laughing. Like it was fun.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything like that, but like my brain immediately went to. And again, you and I are both in the camp of coaches should never tell fans how to act. And nobody should really ever tell fans how to act. Fans can act how they damn well please if they pay a ticket to get into the place. But again, that wouldn't have happened in Kansas City. If Bobby Witt was in it, they're not booing the other 7 because Bobby Witt would played.
As the tournament went on.
If it was one-on-one Bobby versus somebody else. Yeah. And
I
think
not as aggressively.
It's true. Maybe that is the result of not going bracket style the full way, is now it's, 2v6 and we got to boo these 6 guys. I don't know. That's what my brain went to, is that it kind of sucks that like Jack Caglianone's in his first home run derby and all this stuff's going on. And this is a really cool moment. And 40,000 people are just booing their heads off.
They didn't boo him much because he was never a threat. Yeah. He was, it was probably closer than I thought it would be. And that's where like the swings you're at a disadvantage. I think he would have been better in the time format. But those guys were pretty locked in that made it through. I don't know if he was going to keep up with that in his first go at things, but the good news of his early exit, which was a bummer, was we did still get to see that thing that enamors Royals fans, which is how effortless he can make it and just how far he can hit it. Because I don't care what their little distance meter thing says. There were not further home runs than his triple decker or his shot over the hedges to dead center field. There just weren't. So
yeah,
I don't believe those. I never have. They're not true in a game. You're like, listen, that's not, unless they were inflating them back in the old days when we used to see it and they'd say, oh, there's a 500-foot home run. But I think those were like, how does that ball go less than anybody else's when it lands in flight in the triple deck?
I know.
Of course that ball's going to go further.
That's my point that I was making earlier is,
dumb. So the fans got to see that with Jack. Look, just listen to the go back. I assume you can watch it back on Netflix. Go back and listen to those guys who were down there, calling the Derby and what their reactions to a few of those Jack Caglianone balls.
Oh, yeah.
They were just like, it was a different reaction. Like, oh my goodness. Like at one point, one of them said, we have to get this guy into the next round. It's okay. He's young. And it reflects his career, doesn't it? So far, like he's just tantalizing, but he has not gotten to the point where he's really in his groove. Maybe he never does. I mean, it's not a foregone conclusion that he will. But you can see it. Everybody can see it, and they got to see it.
Our pal Brady Bowman wasted comedic gold last night after the home run derby because he was asking after the fact, and he's like, how did Cags do? I said he got in a groove for a while, but his dad was kind of dicing him up out there. He hit quite a bit of ground balls, and he said, oh, his dad must have been a lefty.
That's good.
Right?
That's good.
Right?
That's good. I still of all the bad things that have happened in this Royals season, all of them, I don't think anything has aggravated me more than splitting up the ABs for Jack Caglianone. I just, that to me is that was the point where it's like, what are we doing here? Like we cannot keep we overthink the dumbest things and don't think at all about the most obvious things. And that takes us into an all-star break where the Royals are the worst team in baseball. Let that sink in for a second. Go back to us in March. go back to us in February to say on July 14th that the Royals are the worst team in baseball right now with a lot of injuries, yes, but not to Bobby Witt Jr. Jack Caglione hasn't missed significant time. Like, it's wild. It's what Michael Walker's an all-star, right? You say some of these things and they just don't seem to fit together very well. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And there is no way to dance around how disappointing it's been. And I'm fascinated at what the next 2 weeks look like for them. And then, immediately following that, what next year looks like for them. I have no idea. I'm done predicting them to do well. I'm done with that. Because it always blows up in my face.
I know. It's so interesting now because as we have said earlier in the season, is they're officially this year 100% officially on they are bad until they prove that they aren't bad. That's where they are right now. And it now is creeping into the spot where, they missed the playoffs last year, but we still come into this year and say, that's still a pretty good team. Like, they should be okay. Like, let's just see what happens and see if they can stay healthy and everything like that. And they'll be fine. If they stay this bad, if you go in the next year, I think that, as we talked about yesterday a little bit, is that, are they good anymore? I mean, I always talked about the Chiefs' bad season, or like this is last season, this last season for the Chiefs. Everybody's talking about, but it's the Chiefs. They'll turn it around. It's the Chiefs. They'll turn it around. And if it swims like a duck and it flies like a duck, it's probably a duck. If it doesn't win games and it gives up a lot of runs and it doesn't score a lot of runs, it's probably a bad baseball team. And they haven't shown you otherwise. I think that and the glimpses aren't even there anymore. There was the 2 games they scored 15 runs or something like that. And then immediately followed up by losing 8-2 to the Orioles in the final game of the first half. And it's just it doesn't even shock you. Like, it's uncanny how many times they've just gotten their tails kicked too. Like, they're not even losing close games half the time.
It's the same thing that's haunted them for now. This year, it's kind of just unraveled totally, and they've had all the injuries. But if you go back to the end of 24, and they made the playoffs, that toward the end of that season was a massively offensively challenged team. 25, they were offensively challenged the whole year. 26 went off the rails because they couldn't score early. And so you look at it, and that's where I want to know about this trade deadline. Maikel Garcia, Carter Jensen, Bobby Witt Jr., and Jack Caglione are a part of it. Those 4 are. What do you do with the rest of it?
I know.
Are you beholden to Vinny Pasquantino? What are you going to do with Salvi? I think the answer with Salvi is much, much easier. You play him less games and you bat him toward the bottom of the lineup. And then he becomes, okay, well, down at the bottom of the lineup, he's still an effective hitter, right? We got to know what Salvi wants to do moving forward. Salvi is for the mileage. He's already going to be a Hall of Famer. He's the captain. I'd love for him to keep playing because I do think he still has a lot of value as a catcher and as a hitter that's not hitting, cleanup. I think he still provides plenty of value for you. But you've got decisions basically on Vinny Pasquantino / every outfield spot that you've got to make. And you got to get it right. And I don't even know what needs to be different, right? So what does a potential outfielder that they use next year, what do they need to be capable of that makes this offense different? Is it a power hitting outfielder? Is it an outfielder that gets on base with ease, that can steal base? I don't know the answer to that.
You take anything you can right now. But the thing is so weird about it that I've said so many times is that the parts are so much greater than the sum. And it doesn't really make sense because, I mean, even as much as, we have talked about Lane Thomas early in the season, like Lane Thomas's numbers, if you asked us, I'll take that. That's pretty good. Oh, sure. That's good enough for a platoon outfielder to come in here and do that. Or, Vinny, look at Vinny's stats, even though they're really bad to start the year, he's climbed back into being, and so, you're like, oh, it's a little bit down, but it shouldn't be as bad as it is. Bobby Witt Jr., he's an MVP candidate. He could realistically go do it. Jack Caglione is the hottest hitter in baseball. Carter Jensen had a 21-game hitting streak, all the things. And it just doesn't work because of just something every time.
Well, that's what you got to look.
It's the weirdest. It's no longer, to me, It's no longer on paper, this team should have been good. It's the players are playing okay, and they can't win games.
Yeah, it's always something. It's just always something different now, but something's always happening. So the reset and the level of reset that they go through, to me, will be fascinating. What changes are they going to make, if any, on the coaching staff? How much pitching are they willing to trade away to try to build to the future, knowing, and I do agree with our guy Jalen Thompson on this, they're going to want to be and expect to be competitive immediately next year. And they should be, because they do have a Bobby Witt Jr. window of sorts. We don't know that he's almost certainly going to opt out at his player option, which isn't that far away. What he does after that, we don't know. Are they going to be able to be in the Bobby Witt Jr. business? Like, there's a part of you that, like, if you're a Royals fan, are you hoping for a salary cap? I mean, I think you are as a Royals fan, because that helps you with a guy like Bobby Witt Jr., because the Dodgers can't just come in and say, oh, we'll pay him $80 million a year. We'll defer it down the road to 2059. So there's a lot of stuff there, but it all starts with the trade deadline. Before we get to that, though, they play an all-star game. Bobby Witt Jr. will be a part of that. Michael Wacha will be a part of that. So I assume they'll both play in this game.
Bobby Witt's starting.
What's that?
Bobby Witt is starting.
Right. But you know what I mean. Michael Wacha. I assume Michael Wacha will pitch because he's had such a good year. I'm sure he'll get a tip of the cap and get an inning at some point. And that might be a good thing. What you don't want to see is Michael Wacha come in and get shelled. If you made me make a pick right now, if there was a betting line on will Michael Wacha play for the Royals on August 5th, man, I think they're going to trade him.
I know. I keep chewing
but
on
I
it.
think most people don't think they're going to trade
it depends on my mood each morning, if they should strip it down to the screws outside of the core four, or just say, yeah, we'll figure it out.
I don't know how good do you think this pitching staff's going to be next year?
I can't.
This pitching staff, if they kept them all, it hadn't been good this year, not lately. We'll come back. We got more Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Do this thing. Go!
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back into Sports Daily, everybody. Jake Ballbrock, TJ Cleveland here. Glad to be with you. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. It's hot out there. Maybe some golf, 36 holes to choose from will let you get the best tee time available for the weather. And right after you're done, you can go fall into the best pool in town. Great bar area now with the fans. You got the monitors there. Maybe go play golf and cruise on in there and watch the All-Star game tonight. You can do it all at Crestview Country Club. Give them a call. Tell them we sent you from Sports Daily. Take a tour of the facilities and see why my family's been out there for years and love it. We come back in. TJ, we are getting to the point of the NFL offseason where not much is happening. This is kind of, except for, Travis Kelce's wedding. But it is an interesting point, I think, for the Chiefs in theirs. Rashee Rice should be back. No reporting that his timetable is shifted or anything. So we expect him to be back at full strength in the wide receiver room. But, man, there are some names still sitting there in free agency. 3, most notably, Tyreek Hill, Steph Diggs, Deebo Samuel, still don't have homes right now in the NFL. At this point, you have to think they're certainly, if they're going to play football, be seriously discounted. I mean, is anybody paying them, what they thought they would make? I doubt it.
Yeah.
So, especially Tyreek Hill, I think, for Chiefs fans right now, the longer this goes on, it's like, man, what are the Chiefs going to do here? Anything? Should they do anything? And I would contend they don't need to, But I would also say if you can tell me it's going to be a 1-year deal, why wouldn't they? On a 1-year deal, they have right now $4 million in cap space. All the rookies are signed, right? I believe that's correct.
Yep.
Do they have
I'm
any
pretty sure.
outstanding contracts?
Not notable. I think they've taken care of all the big ones.
So you sit here with $4 million, and I'm sure that you'd like to keep a little reserve, right? In case of emergency, in case of emergency break glass, kind of a little bit. But do you think that they've made a call to any of these guys and been like, we'll sign you on a 1-year, $2.5 million deal?
I'm sure they have. I'm sure that offer is, like many teams, they probably have an offer in the inbox and just say, hey, like once you realize, like, we'll be here. This is what we'll do. We're not doing anything more than this. This is here if you need it. On this topic, there was something we talked about, those quarterback rankings from the execs yesterday that Jeremy Fowler did on ESPN. Which is good stuff. I didn't know they did that. I never heard that before. But the thing in Mahomes at 2 that stuck out to me is that there was a quote from, I don't know if it was an exec or who it was, or if it was just Fowler himself saying, like paraphrasing, that Mahomes' value isn't showing quite as much as it has because of a weak supporting cast. And that is insane to think about, the Kansas City Chiefs having a weak supporting cast, because we had been so trained for all these Super Bowl runs to say that the Chiefs are a super team and all these things. And like, yeah, you want to go join the Chiefs because they are this team that is just a machine and can go. And they kind of were a machine, but I think that the tide has turned and not much has changed outside of, I'm talking post Tyreek Hill. Like, I'd say the 2022, the Super Bowl 57 team, I bet that people would tell you that year, if you could time travel, that was a super team. And now looking back at it, their best receiver was, MVS and Travis Kelce. That was his really crazy year. And that was Isaiah Pacheco's rookie year. And I can't even think all the other ones. But looking back, they really haven't had that real supporting cast around Mahomes. It's true. And so as you go into this year, can you afford to keep doing that, or do you need to go get some guy? And again, even if they are the 1 year, just, hey, we need help, come help us out. I don't think it needs to be a home run by any means, but it needs to be somebody that can help, especially a wide receiver room this year, which may look the most lean that we've seen with Hollywood Brown left.
That's a good question. Is it the leanest? It's hard to say that it is, honestly, because of what they've invested at the position, right? There's 2 different ways to look at it as far as wide receivers for the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Do you look at it at actual production and value in that room, or do you look at it as they've let the position go by the wayside? And I don't know the answer to, is this the best or worst? Because it's not like they haven't tried to make it awesome since they traded Tyreek Hill. Like what you're saying there in that, to me, implies that they've sort of let the position go.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's true at all.
Yeah.
I don't think they've done a particularly good job of addressing it. But Rashee Rice is really good.
Yeah.
He's had other issues, but he's really good when he plays. This is a big prove-it year for Xavier Worthy. They've spent high draft capital outside of those 2, also on Jalen Royals and Cyrus Allen. And, Tyquan Thornton, to me, is as interesting a player in this offense this year as any player in this offense this year. So, there are analytics people out there showing how effective he was on deep balls. If they can run the ball effectively, Tyquan Thornton could be an absolute weapon for them this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I think that they've done less to, and they still have Travis Kelce, who was, a top 5 tight end as far as production goes last year. I think they've tried to make it productive. Hasn't succeeded necessarily. I think Mahomes is great this year if they run the ball. I always think about, like, could you imagine Mahomes in an effective play action offense?
I agree. And we've said that so much about this upcoming season, about once they start running the ball, it's going to open up so much. And it's true, but it's also an offense that doesn't look like the offense has on paper.
in past years. So,
but to me, that's more about what they've invested in and done with the offensive line as it is. It doesn't honestly, like, it doesn't have that much to do with Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't even have that much to do with the wide receiver room. I want them to run the ball because of the investment financially they've made to do it.
Yeah,
to
I
run
agree.
the ball, and now bringing in Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, my thought that I'm trying to get to here is that as we sit here, it was so bad last year, is that it feels like the tide changing to becoming a run-first offense would be huge for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that will help them immensely. And then as we talk about complementary football, though, it will help, but it'd be nice if we did this, 2 or 3 years ago, right? I think that
I do agree with.
There's not the parts of that were there to make it really look like a machine that it could be. And in turn, to me, if we're sitting here saying these things, is that what does that mean for Kenneth Walker? Is this going to mean that, like, if he's not we're screwed, right?
Yeah, but they've also invested in that position too. They've drafted they've drafted running backs
as they go into this next season. The number one position on the offense will be offensive line and running back.
Totally. It is this coming season. It probably will be the next one. Rick says Andy's got to put him under center to run play action. That's not true. You can run play action out of shotgun. Is it as good? I don't know. And I don't know that I want Mahomes under center right away, but with the knee, but he can run that out of shotgun. The thing is about the run game is if they can make people not just like respect that it exists, but fear it. Now we're talking about a Mahomes version 2.0. And so last year going into the year, I incorrectly thought that it was going to be a huge year for Mahomes throwing the ball. Like, I was like, get him in fantasy leagues. They're going to have they've got all these wide receivers and they've done all these things, and it just did not work at all for them last year. This year, like when we're talking about fantasy football, I don't even really think of Mahomes much as a starter, as a top 12 guy, because I do think that he's coming off the injury, but like they brought back MB They invested the money in Kenneth Walker. They've got this offensive line. They still haven't really done a lot, dramatically to change the wide receiver room. They're going to run the ball. Yeah. And I really think they're going to run the ball. And I think Emmett Johnson could be a bigger part of this than maybe we suspect. But it's all right there. If they don't, we're going to have a really weird conversation at this point, because everything they're doing, including all the draft capital they spent on the defense, right? They attacked, they used their wallet to attack the offense, which was to make sure they had all their offensive linemen, which is to make sure they go get Kenneth Walker. They used all their draft capital on defense, which would also tell you, run the ball, play good defense. Like, it's so obvious at this point. I don't even think it's a question. They'll run the ball more this year than they have in forever. You had Kareem Hunt leading the backfield lately. That dude had no gas in the tank. He still had some power behind those legs, thankfully, and was effective in that way. But he didn't have any gas. He didn't have any juice. We saw that. They have now new life in that backfield, ×3 with Walker, with Johnson, and with whatever they get out of Brashard Smith, which I still think is something. But back to the original point, if Tyreek Hill will sign for $3 million, do you want Tyreek Hill on this offense?
I am surprised that we still haven't seen anybody go scoop these guys up.
I'm not probably surprised that somebody hasn't gone after Tyreek Hill. I'm very surprised that nobody's gone after Steph Diggs or Debo.
I'll say it this way. I think is a better way to say this. I'm surprised that we haven't heard the reporting that the Chiefs are in contact with Tyreek Hill or X team is in contact with Tyreek. It just seems like nobody's talked to him, right?
The Chiefs have been in contact with Tyreek.
Right? I feel like we would know something by now.
Yeah, they've talked for sure. They've talked. What about if you go further down that list? Let's say a guy like Brandon Cooks, or I don't know, Tyler Lockett's on that list, but he's so old at this point. Keenan Allen doesn't need the legs of that. Keenan Allen's there. Like, there are also other players that are pretty good. I would say no, probably, to most of those guys. To me, it's those top three that are intriguing. They'll have homes. Hill, Diggs, and Debo are going to play football this year. I just don't know what the holdup is. Are they really thinking they're going to get big paydays? Because at this point, I think the market has told them that's not going to happen. So how much do you want to come play football? Because I still think just about every team, if any of those three all of a sudden said, you know what, we're willing to play for $1 million, I think immediately they'd have 25 phone calls of like, oh, cool, you should do that here. Yep. Tyreek Hill's the interesting one because he's kind of been a pain in the butt at times, but he's the Chiefs' pain in the butt, right? Like, they're fine with that. They're comfortable with that, clearly. Would they be willing to do it? How much would he help them? I do think he would help them. If I could tell you right now, both of these players will be healthy all year long. And hold on to this because we'll get into this. I think I think this is a really interesting one, but we'll set this up for the next hour. You get 100% health out of both of these players. You know Rashee Rice is a starter. Would you rather have as your other receiver on the other side, fully healthy for the whole year, Xavier Worthy or Tyreek Hill? Think about that. We'll answer that in the next question. You can chime in, 869-1240. We'll have headlines that we missed. We got to get to what Wichita State said about the NCAA tournament. It's all coming up in another hour of Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people. We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Well done. Adding a fake name to the sign-up sheet, it's real original, guys. You know, I'd expect inspired minds such as yours to be a little more mature and, frankly, more creative. I mean, seriously. What kind of a fake name is Cook Poo? Cook Poo!
She's back here, bro.
Go!
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Cook Poo. We have a number 2 over here for Cook Poo.
You guys got Wendy saying it now? Come on! Cook Poo is a stupid name. Cook Poo, Cook Poo, Cook Poo.
Here.
Now look sad and say dough. Dough.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. It's another hour with Jake Ballbrockton, TJ Cleveland, Max Power producing, cutting those intros for us. Glad to have you with us this time of year as we are kind of counting down the days to training camp. We'll have the TBT next week. What do we get the aftershocks? Monday, TJ? Monday night, 8 o'clock, Charles Koch Arena. We'll have to get the fellas in here in some capacity over the next few days as we get ready for that, the return, trying to defend the championship. We'll have some headlines I missed this hour. We will get you into the discussion yesterday at Wichita State for the NCAA tournament. What did Paul Mills have to say? What did Kevin Saul have to say about it? We will also ponder the question I asked there at the end, Chiefs fans, of the last hour. Who would you rather have, knowing if you could know they were both completely healthy for this year only? Would you rather have Xavier Worthy or Tyreek Hill starting as a Chiefs wide receiver? So think about that for a second. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company. Now featuring the cheeseburger and pizza dice pizza, beef, American, and Monterey Jack cheese, pickle onion, burger seasoning, drizzled with a tangy burger sauce. Cheeseburger and pizza dice, WBC, your summertime pizza made here. We have you on our video streams that you can comment on Facebook, YouTube, and X. We also have you on 12 News Connected. We have you on the Odyssey app where you can leave voice messages or you can call us at 869-1240 if you're listening to us over the air here on KFH, 97.5 FM, 1240 AM, or you can email us at sportsdaily@kfhradio.com. All right, that's all the housekeeping. Let's hit some headlines I missed.
All right, Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
All right, I've got some bookmarked ready to go for us this morning. Let's go back to the Home Run Derby. Bryce Harper, after it finished up, this was a storyline heading into the Derby that he said that he wanted to allow the players to use aluminum bats in the Home Run Derby is Bryce Harper's dream. And after the Derby last night, he doubled down on it apparently and said he's not ready to give up on his dream of aluminum bats for the final out of each round of the Home Run Derby. That's from.
Do you think players would like that? Do you think that messes with anything? I wonder if he's got.
A bat's a bat, I guess.
I wonder if he's got consensus on that. It would be fun. That would be wild. Give it just for one at bat. That would be so cool.
That's from on Pattison in Philadelphia, sports reporter. I haven't heard this actual soundbite, but it sounds like Bryce wants the final out of each one. So basically, when the magenta balls come into play, by the way, people were really talking down on them last night. Apparently, I don't know. Did you hear that? The announcers kept saying that every round about how hard it is to hit a different colored baseball.
Well, that's never been a problem in the other home run derbies of years past. They just didn't hit one last night. Which sting, is it still for charity? Those are still charity balls, right? Like that's the part that sucked. But they hit those balls out all the time. They just didn't last night.
By the way, on this topic of aluminum bats, did you see? This doesn't apply to you yet because your kids are too young. It doesn't matter. I think it's NFHS or USA Baseball or something like that, who manages the high school baseball rules across the country, changed the rule on bats, and basically you can now use a drop 6 in high school, if you know what that means.
Yeah, what were we at before that?
Drop 3 is what the consensus was. Everybody used drop 3s across high school and college, and then most pro bats are just drop 3 wooden bats, but there's no real rules for those.
Yeah, we were lower than drop 3 when I was in high school. I'm pretty sure. I don't think we were at drop 3 yet. I think we were still, man, that has been so long ago. But we were more than drop 3s. Yeah. I thought you were going to say something about using wood bats, and I was like, oh no. Did you ever use wood bats? Did you ever play like wood bat tournaments in the summer?
I never used them in games, but I practiced with them all the time.
I like panic attack. Anytime we'd get into a scenario we had to use wood bats, because like, look at me. You see these pythons? All I could do was break wood bats. Like I didn't have, I don't know if it was a power.
Really?
Like I could not break.
I never used them in actual games, but I'd use them in practice all the time. I think I might have splintered one, but I've never broken a wooden bat. It blows my mind how often that happens in the big.
I was very much a contact hitter. I didn't strike out very much at all, but I also didn't hit for any power at all. And so we get to those wood bat tournaments. I'm not going to strike out, and I'd like, they were dumb, because everyone had to buy a wood bat, right? And so like I'd break my wood bat immediately. And so then it's like, can I borrow somebody's bat? And I'm like, I'm going to break their bat. I hated doing that. Like that is not necessary. I thought that's what you were going to say, and immediately brought back like PTSD of swinging a wood bat in high school. Like, no.
Anyways, it makes sense how they break so many in the MLB, but it blows my mind how people break wood bats.
If you don't hit the sweet spot, like you're breaking that bat.
I guess.
Like if you hit it anywhere near the handle, you're breaking that bat.
In the bigs, when they're throwing 100 miles an hour, it definitely makes sense. But it blows my mind that like these, genetically manufactured slabs of wood that like are these Louisville sluggers and everything, like they still just Anyways,
I think it would be cool to put an aluminum bat in their hands though for that.
There is
with Bryce Harper on that.
It's pretty terrifying though. Thinking about CAG's average exit velo was 111. What's CAG's average exit velo with aluminum bat?
Batting helmets on all the little kids out in the outfield.
All the fans, they're gonna kill somebody. And even still, like CAG's hit that
They're
one.
Using them still in college, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. But man, CAG's hit that one that was the line drive home run to right field, and I was like, as somebody who has taken a foul ball to the face, that is just like, oh my gosh, hold on to your butts. You have to bring a glove if you sit in the outfield. And I'm never the bring your glove to baseball games guy. Even like kids, I'm like, no, we're going to catch it with our bare hand. That's what we're going to do. But if you're at the Derby, like I'd be so scared. Remember the video remember whenever Giancarlo Stanton hit that fan and they caught it with their hand and like broke their hand?
Did he complete the catch?
I think he might have. I can't remember that part,
awesome.
but I remember like it was like
that.
so puffy. It was disgusting. He had to go to like the emergency room after that. I remember that for some reason. All right, well, let's keep going. Let's go with more baseball here. So did you see, I think this was the final game of the series in Baltimore, the little scuffle between the Royals and the Orioles?
No, I'll have to look it up. When did this happen?
It either happened on Sunday or on Saturday. I can't remember.
I don't think I did.
So Urseg threw up an end to Blaze Alexander. It clipped him on the shoulder, and he kind of started like walking and looking at Urseg, and he thought it was intentional, and there was some words, and they kind of, and then so the bullpen's cleared, and nothing ever happened of it, but bullpen's cleared, and so it's a thing. So, anyways, somebody asked Vinny after the game. Who is this? This is an Orioles beat reporter. Asked Vinny after the game. Jake Real. He said, "We had some up and in pitches the other day. To be honest, that's a guy who's hitting over 300 and is feeling good about himself, that feels the need that when he gets hit that he could say something. So credit to him for feeling good about himself like that. But he's clearly not. It's a 1-2 count. We're trying to get outs. We're not trying to give away free base runners. I think that's a bad baseball mindset personally, because why would we hit a guy right there? It's just common sense." He replies back and says, "Weird take, ... Never thought it was intentional, but the 2 quick pitches to try and catch me off guard now lead to me missing games. Thanks for the compliments, though, Bigfoot."
So you were 2 quick pitches. So now we're going to get mad about 2. Look, if they're not trying to hit you, like, what are you going to get so mad about? I don't know.
I feel like there needs to be there needs to be like universal rules written to be like, it was not on purpose if A, it was a curveball, B, there was 2 strikes in the count, 3, it was a tie game late in the game, right? Like they're never intentional. Why would you hit somebody there?
Why would you? Yeah. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I would also, the other part of it though is, why do pitchers need to be so sensitive? Like, of course a guy's going to be pissed if you just hit him. I'd be pissed too. Why? Like, you just hit me with, like, that hurt. I'm mad now that you hit me. I'm mad that I might miss games. Hey, pitchers are the most sensitive people on the planet. Hey, pitcher, it's okay that he's mad at you for hitting him with a baseball. Like, it's okay. You don't need to get offended or your feelings hurt that he's excited he hit a home run or that he's mad that you just drilled him. Like, get over it. It goes both ways. Everyone's at fault there. Just come on.
I don't know. This is a bit of a rift between the Baltimore and Kansas City right now. One more for you on the way out. I don't know did I show you? I told you this at work yesterday, but I'm going to say it on the air anyways. Erling Haaland is back in Norway, and he brings home a $750 whiskey raccoon from Wild Bill's Western store in Dallas, Texas, from Joe Pompliano.
So when you tell me this, and now I got to look, is this
look up whiskey raccoon?
Is this a live raccoon?
No. It's like a taxidermied raccoon.
Oh, when you told me the story, I thought it was a real raccoon.
Oh, come on.
Well, it's like that. Oh, that's outrageous to think that Erling Haaland would have a raccoon. That thing cost $750.
Yeah.
I wonder if that doesn't matter for Erling Haaland. Well, that's not as good. I thought you meant he had a live raccoon with a whiskey bottle, which a raccoon would totally have a whiskey bottle.
Now, what I'm curious about, because this is like a taxidermied raccoon. Are these like custom made? Like they have to kill a raccoon for each one that they sell?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I think that would probably violate some things. I'm imagining they find them in some way. I don't think they're hunting raccoons, but
I also don't know if it's a real raccoon. So credit to it might just be a stuffed animal.
It looks real. I just saw the picture. Man, I totally thought he had a live raccoon on the airplane. That would have been way cooler. All right, we're coming back. Disappointing end for me. More Sports Daily right after this.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app. Brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
Welcome back into Sports Daily, everybody. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up here all across the Odyssey family. Headline we haven't talked about, TJ, this grandpa and the bison. He's apparently okay, and I guess laughing it off, I hear, which is good because everybody else is having a lot of fun with it. Would you be disappointed if you're this grandpa? You're in good shape. I think he's okay. I think he's in good shape. Would you be disappointed if people weren't giving you a hard time for that? The video is awesome. The still shots are awesome.
It is wild.
It looks fake.
Know. Yeah. I feel like I'd have an easier time laughing it off if other people are laughing it off as well. If it turned into everybody saying, "Oh my gosh," then I think I'd have a hard time. But it's good that he's laughing it off because I'm glad he's okay. Right?
I think
terrifying.
I think I
mean, that has to be the equivalent of getting hit by like a truck.
That's what I've said it a million times. Like, I could get hit by a car and you can make fun of me tomorrow. Like, I would rather find the joys in life. Nobody's wishing ill upon this grandpa. So it brings me to, did you see the Buccaneers yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Again, you got to know he's okay. And I think we do at this point. And then once you know that, all bets are off. And that's where it's like, at that point, this grandpa, and he's a grandpa. He may not see any of this, but like, that's where it's like, this is kind of cool. Like, it's definitely cool for his grandkids. Like, grandpa, you're a star. Like,
no kidding.
Like, this is great.
Oh my gosh. Headline. I have the major headline. I forgot to tell you. I saved this. I don't even think I told you at work because I wanted to tell you on the air. Callback to earlier episodes of Sports Daily. Do you remember Freddie, the German?
Yes.
He's back.
What do you mean?
He deactivated his Twitter. He got forced off the app basically because people were being such jerks to him. So after Germany lost, he just deleted his Twitter account. And now he's back.
Okay. I saw something where he said that he wanted to be off because he didn't like being in the limelight. And I was like,
he said originally, he's like, once this trip is over, I'm going to just take it down because I don't want, he's like, I'm not going to be an influencer. Like, I'm not going to be a famous person and do this all the time. He's like, I'm just going to document my trip. And then it turned into, after Germany lost, especially, people were really dogging on him, all the conspiracies about he's a CIA operative and he's getting paid off by the government to really promote America, but he's actually an American and he's not German and he's been to America before and he's lying about all this stuff and it's all fake and everything's fake. And people were like digging up his old tweets and trying to make him look bad and people were digging up stuff. There was apparently he posted there was like a Reddit page solely dedicated to trying to find clues about revealing his identity. And he's like, this is too toxic. I got to get the hell out of here. So he deleted his Twitter. And then after it's been like almost a month now, I guess a couple of weeks, he came back and said, hello again. They are in Clemson, South Carolina. He's decided to come back and document the final part of the trip. And he gave some context of why he deleted it. Like I just said, this was the best part and this is true about everything in life. So life lesson here. This is the, what is it called? In the books, the lesson you're supposed to learn. I can't remember what it's called. Whatever. The main I know this was only a small percentage of people, but after a while, it became exhausting. During the last 2 weeks, I received so many kind messages on Instagram, and they really made me realize how many people genuinely enjoyed following the trip. Some people even told me that their grandparents regularly ask them, what are the Germans up to today? And I think that's pretty cool. I decided to continue because I realized that the overwhelming majority of people loved following along with the trip. A small group of very loud people on social media shouldn't be allowed to ruin something that brought so many others joy.
Yeah. And he'd been here before. I'm just reading his thing. So,
yeah. And that's what he said. He's like, I've never said that I'd never been to America before. I'd never been to the South or the Midwest before. And that's the whole point of the trip.
And he said his Raising Cane's picture was from Saudi Arabia.
That's a wild turn. Did you know they had canes in Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Okay. Look, I don't care. I don't care if it's fake. I mean, I do, but not that much because of what like the trip has reminded even if it's just Americans, like reminding Americans of like, man, we got it pretty great. Like, stop letting politicians like dictate how much joy you take in life. I can't even fathom trying to get my joy in life from politics. I don't know if there's anything that brings me less joy in life than politics, to like only obsess about that. So that's what this, to me, like that's what this Freddie was. Like whether he's fake or real, I don't think he's fake. I think people are kind of crazy sometimes. But even if he was, oh, cool. So a fake account's chronicling some of the best parts of rural America. Why does that bother you so much?
Yeah.
Not think rural America's awesome? Why don't you go visit rural America? Your opinion might change. This is why I'm like the grandpa is the best version of instant and immediate and fun like celebrity, but his will go away. Like he's not going to stay a celebrity. Freddie's not either, by the way. But you also get in Freddie's case, because it lasted a little longer, how quickly people ruin nice things. Like, why can't we just have nice things? Why can't we just enjoy a German guy driving around to a college football game and catching some of the cool things like a Waffle House? Like, why is that? Why do people feel the need to rain on that parade? TJ, your generation is a miserable one at some time.
I know.
I hate to tell you, but put it down. Put down the social media and go to a Waffle House.
I saw somebody make the point a couple of weeks ago. I don't know who it was or what it was about, but it said that we got to get a grip because the world was not meant for everybody to share their thoughts on everything all the time.
Could you imagine? God, that's why we do fun things like headlines I missed. All right, let's answer the question, and then we'll go to Wichita State in the next segment. Let's answer the question on the Chiefs I asked at the end of the first hour. So you've had time to think about it. I'll give you a fully healthy season this year, age considered, of Tyreek Hill, or a fully healthy season of Xavier Worthy. For the Chiefs this year, which side of that would you take? Age is considered. So we're talking about 32-year-old Hill. Right?
Is this
but he's not hurt. Right? And because Worthy has had as many injury concerns as Tyreek Hill. So I think this is a fair comparison.
Is the question, if I get Tyreek Hill, I lose Xavier Worthy?
No, not necessarily. The question is just, is it worth going to get Tyreek Hill?
Well, yeah, it is.
To replace Xavier's Worthy's current role.
And yeah, I'll do that every time. I think that's fine with me. I think it's a more interesting hypothetical of you get Tyreek Hill, but you lose Xavier Worthy. Because in that case,
you can think about just basically which player do you think would be better this year? 32-year-old Tyreek Hill or 25-year-old Xavier Worthy?
Yeah. I mean, it's close, I think. But I think I'd lean Tyreek Hill just because of the experience of it.
I'd for sure lean Tyreek Hill. What has Xavier Worthy proven to us?
That's the other part of it, too. If I can have Tyreek
last year in 14 games.
If I can have Tyreek Hill and Xavier Worthy can slide into a role and find a role that it works for him, then that's 100% the answer. But I think it's a harder question if you.
I just am not sure how good Xavier Worthy is. This is.
I think that they've given.
It's not quite McCole Hardman, but it was. This guy's really fast. Let's draft him.
That's what I'm saying. Is that it feels like, I don't know. Again, he had some crazy plays at Texas, so don't get me wrong about that. But it's very much of whenever you look at the attributes of Xavier Worthy in the draft is that this guy is really fast.
And then it's much ended there.
And then it was like, he can make some good catches and stuff like that, but he's undersized. He's not going to go up and win one-on-ones most of the time. He is quick. He's just going to have to get open. And that's the thing. And so Xavier Worthy.
42 receptions in 14 games for an offensively starved team last year. That is bad. Like you can't give the Chiefs 3-4 catches a game more than that. Like the role is screaming at who else are they throwing the ball? So that's what I worried about. Tyreek Hill is short. He's not undersized. I'm worried that Xavier Worthy is just not going to be that good of an NFL player. I hope I'm wrong about that, by the way, because I think he's tantalizing, obviously, with that kind of speed. But I mean, we've had a little bit to look at him, and I know he was hurt, and I know he got blown up by Kelsey on the first. So my hope is that this will be a clean start for him. But I think we've seen enough to at least consider that he might not be very good.
I think that my biggest thing that I think I've learned about Xavier Worthy is that it's unfair for the Chiefs to try to put him in a role that he's really never been before. And he kind of was in Texas, so it's really not fair to say that either. But whenever you look at him and look at what he can do and things like that, like he never seems like he should have been that big of a role in an offensive wide receiver room.
Correct.
But whenever you're that fast, it's hard to not help somewhere, right? They just need to figure it out. That's the biggest thing right now is that it's like judging what's a good example I could say here? It's like judging Coleman Hawkins. That's a good one. It's like judging Coleman Hawkins on how he was the star player at K-State. And it's like, well, he's not a scorer. You just put him in that role, right? It's like Xavier Worthy isn't going to get you 10 catches a game. That's never what he's really been. But as we sit here and talk about the running game opening up deep threats, figure out how to do that.
He's not going to be that. He's not good at that. We've seen that.
They've got to figure that out. I don't know how.
But that doesn't mean that. So what I'm very excited for him specifically, and this is one of the reasons I hope Rice is healthy. And again, we're just talking about football. Rice has his issues. From a football perspective, though, like if Rice is totally healthy, I want to see what that does for Xavier Worthy, because Tyquan Thornton is a much better deep threat than Worthy, in my opinion. So I'm not taking that role away from Tyquan Thornton. I think he's really good at it. I think so. Then and we know what Rice's role is, which is catch a ton of balls. We know what Travis Kelce's role probably is. I would imagine it'll be a lighter version of what he was last year. So then what does that leave for Worthy? Well, to me, it leaves a lot. It leaves the ability for him to get open in space and then take off running after he catches a short pass, which is a lot of what Tyreek Hill did, right? Tyreek Hill was a good deep ball guy too, and became one especially. But Tyreek Hill's other superpower was what he did after he caught the ball. Can Worthy do that? Can you get now with an effective offense because you're running it more? And obviously teams have to respect Rashee Rice. Travis Kelce still exists. Thornton is your deep ball. Is there an opportunity to just get Worthy the ball in space 4 or 5 times a game and then see what he can do with it? Because if he's not a run after catch guy, I don't know what he is in the NFL. Like, to me, that's kind of the last thing he could still be, is get him open and see what he can do after he catches the ball. Because I think I've seen enough with the deep ball. Like, maybe he can get better at that. He's not good at it. Like, that's not happening. He's never going to be what Rashee Rice is. And Rashee Rice is really, really good. But he's a first-round pick, right? Like, they drafted him early. To me, it felt more like McCole Hardman. Like, he just fits what this, like, idea of a player they'd like to have more than he is the player that they needed to take.
I agree. But I mean, as I've said like 3 times in this segment alone, like, turn on the film to Texas and he looked freaking nuts. And again, it's college to NFL, and I understand that. But it very much, as you go back to that draft and you think about what the Chiefs needed, it's 100% like a fast wide receiver to go with this offense. That sounds like that would be nice, right?
And then Rashee Rice got hurt, and then he got hurt, and then so we'll see. But to the point of the question, even at his age, Hill does do that thing well. We've got to still see if Worthy can do that thing well. Does Hill do it as well as he used to? Of course not. And he's had his own injury issues. You're talking about 2 injury-plagued players. The chances of either of those guys playing even 14 games is probably, I would say, low. Medium at best. Maybe Worthy can, but for Hill, medium at best. I don't know what they'll do. I don't think they're going to add any of these receivers. To the original point that they're all still sitting there, Debo, Diggs, Tyreek Hill, I don't think the Chiefs are adding any of them. But they still could, and they still will be able to. And, of course, injuries probably going to dictate where these 3 guys go, who gets hurt in training camp, who gets hurt early in the year. I think for a guy like Tyreek Hill, you could absolutely see the season start without him having a team and him finding a team. I would be pretty surprised if Tyreek Hill's not in pretty good physical shape all the time. I think Diggs will get signed before the season. if Debo doesn't get signed before the season, I'll be stunned. Debo's a weapon still. He's 30. He's not 32 or 33 years old. Like, he's got at least one more year in him. But there's still, we don't get to this part of the offseason with 3 wide receivers like that still available. I mean, we're talking about Pro Bowlers, all 3 of them recently. Sorry, imagine let's go back 2 years, and I told you, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, and Debo Samuel on July 14th won't have a team.
I think that even last year you could say
nuts.
that, right? I think that it's just kind of weird in general. Like, it's not even like what's wrong with these guys, or like, what are these guys capable anymore? Like, I think that it's just weird that any player of a Pro Bowl caliber of recent time is still available in July. Like, I don't remember anything going on this long for a guy like that, right?
No, I don't. And here's the other part of it that I wonder a lot now that we're starting to think about fantasy football. We saw a running back renaissance last year in the NFL, right? Running backs were very in vogue. They were very popular. They were very effective last year. Is this a year that we see that go a step even further? Are we starting to now devalue the wide receiver a little bit? The open market tells us no, right? Huge contracts for some wide receivers this offseason. But is it more than just the Chiefs that will lean into the run next year? I think there's a really good chance that happens. I think we may continue to see that trend into next year. And then, of course, it'll buck the other way, and you'll start to see teams open it up and throw more. But I just wonder if more and more teams in the NFL are going to take that path. Look at Seattle. Seattle just won the Super Bowl. Now, they had the best receiver in football last year, but they weren't a pass-heavy offense. They were a run-heavy offense, and they played good defense. And, the Rams, kind of an interesting case study. They do both. There's balance, though, as an offense, as we've seen in a while. The 49ers, who else was in it late last year? Trying to think if any of them were super, super pass-heavy teams. I don't think they were. Patriots were a run-heavy team. So I think we could be seeing that a little bit, too, with these guys, as teams are just like, yeah, we like these players, but doesn't really fit into what our plan is for next year. We'll see. It'll be an interesting year, but bottom line, Chiefs, well, how much are they going to show us? I know we only have like 1 minute. How much are they going to show us in training camp?
Of what do you mean?
Of their philosophy offensively.
How much do you ever?
Are they trying to surprise anybody with that, or are we going to see them at training camp line up in heavy personnel and run the ball?
I mean,
not preseason. Preseason's a little different. I mean, these early stages of training camp. You think we'll get any hints of that early on?
Maybe, but I think it's just going to be, manufactured because we're looking for it too a little bit. How much do you ever learn in training camp?
You're probably right. TJ talked to Wichita State yesterday, both Paul Mills and Kevin Saul. What do they think about bringing the opening round to Wichita? We'll have that next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination, they tell a story clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland. It is a Tuesday. It is the Tuesday of the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Then we get a Wednesday and Thursday, TJ, which are very interesting days on the sports calendar. And then we get things revved back up. The trade deadline will come into focus. TBT returns next week. Training camp the week after that. And then here we go. Into the fall season. But here we go right now. We were dropped a great, wonderful nugget of a story, an interesting story. Wichita chosen to select the newly expanded NCAA tournament at Intrust Bank Arena in both 2027 and 2028. And Wichita State plays a large role in that. They're considered the host team or the host institution of doing that. And so we've had a lot of questions. The first question we had was around the language, TJ, of the NCAA removing the restriction of a host site hosting its own team Did we get any clarity on that yesterday?
In Kevin Saul's words, is that I don't think it's going to get much clearer than what it says in the release. So that means who are we to? And again, it's kind of the same thing that I said whenever I read it, and then you were texting me is that, well, we need to make sure that that's. And I was like, I mean, the NCAA
well, because
says
we were hearing two different things.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, and that my immediate reaction says like, what could be confusing about that sentence of if it says that they're playing here, and again, it's not going to matter for Wichita until that exact scenario were to happen. But again, as we've said, it's a big thing for teams all across
the initial answer to that when it was asked at the city offices was no, they'd still go to Dayton in that scenario.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm hearing from Wichita State, I don't know if that's true. And then, so, and probably it's we'll find out when we get there. It's such an obscure scenario.
Like the chance it would have to be Wichita State would have to be an at-large bid, which means that they can't win their conference tournament. And they'd also have to be a bottom 12 at-large bid to get the chance to even, they could still go to Dayton anyway.
That chance. I think where it would come more into play is if, let's call Wichita, let's say they're hosting a round of 64 and Wichita State was a 3 or 4 seed. Could they then play at home? That's and because this isn't just a thing for Wichita State. Like if Omaha hosts, can Creighton play in Omaha?
It's more so like thinking about it is of like Gonzaga hosts in Spokane. Can they play as a 1 seed in Spokane?
Which has been a thing, before. So that, it just doesn't apply only to Wichita State. It just kind of came in tandem with the announcement of Wichita. That's where the NCAA slipped that in, which was so interesting.
Yeah.
In a release about Wichita being selected as the host city, the NCAA slides in a massive change to their formula. And what it brings to mind for me is, why do we even have that restriction ever? I think you should regionalize this thing because I think that would be a blast. But, whatever. That's a conversation for a different day. So what's the overall sentiment? I would imagine Wichita State is certainly fond of having it the next 2 years.
I think that they're fond of. I think that they agree that they want to be the next Dayton and do it every single year. Paul Mills, I think, said it best, is that it's cool when we get it every 5 years and stuff like that. And this Kevin Saul kind of agreed with this too. But if you get the chance, and the way I asked it is that, when you think of Dayton Flyers basketball, in my mind, it goes to 2 things. 1, Obi Toppin, because they're really good that 1 year. But 2, Dayton Flyers, that's where they host the first 4. Like that's what that arena is kind of famous now because they host the first 4 there. And so if you have the chance to be, a team, a city that every year when the college basketball starts, and it's true, like what Josh Allen said, is that like, all right, it's Tuesday. We've got games in Dayton and Wichita. And you can say that every single year. That's 1, cool for the city of Wichita. And it's cool for Wichita State. He said it best is that like, as sometimes as silly as the TBT is and as fun as it's supposed to be and everything like that, when you pack it full, it gets people talking about Wichita State. Right? You show these full 9,000 fans, 10,000 fans packed into the Roundhouse in late July. People across the country are saying, holy cow, what the hell is going on in Wichita? Like, those fans are crazy. It's the same thing. It's kind of just another notch on the belt, is the way Paul Mills put it, is that Wichita has forever had so much basketball history between, all the things and all the NBA players that have grown up in Wichita that have gone on to play in the NBA. And then just thinking about the history of the Roundhouse, whenever Wichita State was the number 1 team in the country for a while there, the 2 Final Four runs, like there's a really good amount of history for, the city of Wichita in terms of basketball, and relatively speaking.
I think Wichita is synonymous with basketball. The whole state of Kansas is.
Kansas definitely is, but Wichita's got a seat at the table.
For guys our age, or and we're not the same age, but we're in the let's call it the modern era of it. The early Marshall years, the Final Four, followed by the undefeated season, all that put Wichita on the map for me. As an outsider at that point. I moved here right after the undefeated season, and so I do think Wichita will get branded that way. And I would imagine that is helpful to Paul Mills. Like, why wouldn't it be, right?
Exactly.
It just reminds people of how crazy this community is. Just like when we say, man, bring recruits to the TBT. And he has. And I think it's worked.
He said that he talked about that in itself yesterday, is that we had an entirely new team, right? Like, and by the time they all get here, it's July or whatever, or June, and then it's late July, and you're saying, like, guys, come to this game and watch this. And
watch
all 10 newcomers are like, these people are freaking nuts. What is going on?
They're still here now this year too, right?
Yeah, that's what he said, is that now all these guys come back, and now it's like they know what to expect and all these things. But I mean, Paul Mills, he said last year was his first time ever actually getting to sit down and go to a TBT game. And I mean, it's what we have said forever about the TBT in Wichita State, is that since they've gotten this like partnership that's been here every year, is that Paul Mills said he saw it and saw 8,000 people come in there to watch 4 Shocker alumni and a bunch of their buddies. And it's like, we're sitting on dynamite. If we can be good, these people will show up on a Monday at noon, probably. Like, as long as we win games, you're going to get the fans. And it's 100% true. And we saw it this year.
Yeah, it was incredible. Bring up the Aftershocks and the roster and those guys. By the way, you gave me an announcement yesterday. Dexter Dennis is not playing. Is that correct?
That's what Taylor reports. Dexter Dennis is not playing. And Nike Sabondi, remember him from last year?
Yep. I was just going to say he and Marcus Keene both now officially listed on the roster on the TBT site.
But Nike Sabondi is not going to play.
He is not going to play?
No.
I liked Nike Sabondi.
I did too.
Okay.
This is chaos. TBT. We still don't know who's on the team, and they play in 6 days. I don't know who's going to be on the court. We'll figure that out.
They'll find some guys.
Anyways, Taylor reporting that Nike Sabondi isn't going to play, and Dexter Dennis is not going to play. Sabondi got hurt, and he wanted to make sure he rests before his new season began. He said Dennis was going to play after playing in the summer league, and then play with the Aftershocks, but he got signed to another contract. And so he said he doesn't want to play.
Well, yeah, you're not going to do that.
Exactly.
We know that LeGerald Vick is not going to play for Jayhawks hoops.
Right.
That story is one we have not really gotten into here because don't really want to at this point until we get more details.
Anyways, so those two aren't going to play. Corey Washington is going to play. Corey Washington now becomes the first Paul Mills player to play. There hasn't been another one of those.
Did he not play for?
Nope.
Mills?
He was 2022 was his last. So there was another year of Ivy in between them. So Corey Washington is on, and Chauncey Jenkins is on.
Oh, well, that'll be good. Chauncey Jenkins was one of my sneaky favorite Shockers of the last generation. He had a lot. He had a lot to enjoy. So that'll be good. I like that. Okay, so we have so clearly the site here that I'm looking at is not.
It's not
up to date.
I have no idea. Like, we just need the Aftershocks to say, "Here's our roster. Here you go."
Right now we have 2 players listed for Purple Rain. They're gonna play. They're gonna have a team of some kind.
I can't believe that has to be a thing. Whenever these things are so thrown, because most of the time, the Aftershocks are in kind of a rare spot where they've got a coach, right? I remember the year that I guess Henriquez is technically the coach for Purple Rain. But remember the year he was playing and coaching at the same time, and a lot of it, I know for the KU team, Tyshawn Taylor is listed as player, GM, and owner. So it's Wichita State's actually got logistics people to help with these kind of things. I imagine this is a nightmare, as they have talked about, because these guys play professional basketball in different countries.
Okay, so, and I know we've pivoted to TBT, and that's fine, because I don't think anything else of significance came out of what do you think the change? Because I wonder about this a lot, because I love this new format. Do you think because the Aftershocks finally got the job done last year that there's any less hype around it this year?
I don't know. People have talked about that. It kind of feels like it's sneaking up on you more than it usually does.
It does, but it's set up to be better.
I think so. I think it's just kind of not to throw shade at the TBT here because it's a chaos, as we're saying. They don't know who's on the teams either, so I don't think it's their fault. But they, as we sit here a week before the games start, for K-State fans especially, they're having games in Bramlage Coliseum. Who's going to play for them, right? There's 3. Xavier Sneed's going to play. I forgot about him. Sneed, Poland, and Beasley are playing. They made official Poland yesterday, I guess. But I think we knew that
I was about to
already.
say Poland's not there yet. So,
I think we knew that, but I think that yesterday they posted it.
I thought he was on the fence, but and we'll have Fitz tomorrow. Fitz will probably know a little bit more.
So, but I think that's the biggest thing is that even for Wichita State people is that like who's going to be on the team, and they know more than probably 80% of the field. Right?
The aftershock. Well, and I was New Mexico also like. Yeah. They're too locked in a rosters as there are.
Yeah. Honestly, like think Wichita State fans, thank goodness that you have Taylor Eldridge who just keeps digging up stuff at the TBT.
Totally.
Or you'd have no idea, right?
Well, I think Wichita State fans should be thankful for Taylor Eldridge pretty often. To be perfectly
we'll say Aftershocks fans should be thankful for Taylor right now as well.
So we've got now. Remind me, do they don't go ever to New Mexico, right? All the games are at Charles Koch Arena.
Weird. So doing that,
which is great, which is the way it should be. That is interesting because Wichita State and New Mexico are going to play in real college basketball this year.
I wonder if this was fueled by the TBT matchup. Is this like
I don't know how it wouldn't be. I don't know how it wouldn't be. The conversation at least starting that way or being a part of it. There's no way that's a coincidence. I think it's an interesting potential rivalry. Like New Mexico is like Wichita State. Like it's got enough history and tradition there. Like
my brain went more so. Yeah, my brain went 1 to the TBT thing, but 2, Wichita got the play-in games. Albuquerque wanted them. Like that's kind of where my mind went too. Maybe that's Albuquerque saying like, you think Wichita's so cool? Yeah, how about you come over here, right? Let's play.
How about this? How about this as a proposal on the opening round of the NCAA tournament? We wrote to, and I don't know what Dayton would think about this, but Dayton would probably also be a great round of 64 city. What if they gave the opening rounds chunks? Like you get 2 years in a row, and then you go back into the rotation. So what if the 2 rotations were 2 years of opening rounds, and then you're also in the mix? So like you got 2 years of opening rounds, and then maybe within the next 3 years, you could still host a round of 64. And then 2 or 3 years after that, you go back into the mix to host a couple of years of the opening round. What if they just did it that way? I think that might be interesting because there are like Albuquerque would be great for those opening rounds.
Yeah.
Not that I have a lot of love for Albuquerque, but its location would be interesting. There are all kinds of Western cities like that would be really good for this thing.
We just need to be glad because I think the most college basketball thing that it could have been is saying, hey, we're going to take all the play-in games and we're going to play them in Vegas. That's what everybody does. Let's put it in Vegas.
Oh, man. Which honestly isn't also not a bad idea because there's so many flights in and out of Vegas. You could probably get in and out of there pretty quick. Facilities. Vegas would be a great round of 64 city. It would be so wild. Could you imagine Vegas with a round of 64?
I wonder if have they ever hosted? I don't know if they have.
I don't. Well, we're only now opening the can of worms that it's okay for them to do these things, and I don't know that the NCAA is still fully on board with that. Conferences are. All right, we'll come back. We got more Sports Daily. Don't go away.